Hello and welcome to Geopolitics with Anshuman. If you want to understand how the ultimate superpower chess game between the United States, China, and India is actually played, you need to ignore 99% of what you read in the newspaper or watch on television news channels. Because right now, the word Indo has been officially scrubbed off the American military maps. The Pentagon has quietly reverted the name of its massive quote unquote Indo-Pacific Command back to its original name, the Pacific Command. Just think about that. For nearly a decade, the entire Western foreign policy elite was obsessed with the word Indo-Pacific. It was the ultimate buzzword. Every think tank from Washington to London swore that India was chosen frontline warrior meant to help the United States contain China. And now, so if you look at the superficial headlines, it looks like a massive geopolitical defeat for New Delhi. The Western analysts are already whispering that the US has abandoned India, and Beijing is openly celebrating that they have won round one of the Asian Cold War. But if you actually pull back the curtain and look at the deep state ledger, the reality is hilarious. This isn't an American retreat, it's the ultimate proof that India just executed the greatest geopolitical quote unquote friend zone in modern history, leaving Washington holding a $1 trillion empty bag. Let's look at the actual receipts, because this whole storm blew wide open over the weekend at your China's premier annual foreign policy conclave, the World Peace Forum at Tsinghua University in Beijing. China's absolute top strategic minds gathered there, and they were practically doing victory laps. Wu Xinbo, the dean of the international studies at Fudan University and a legendary voice of US-China relations, explicitly dropped the bombshell. He told the forum, and I quote, "With the renaming back to the Pacific Command, my understanding is that the US believes using India as a key partner to contain China has proven ineffective. Initially, the US held high expectations for India's role. The Trump administration has become much more realistic." Unquote. Friends, notice his phrasing. He didn't say the US is planning to change it. He said that they already did it because using India as an American proxy completely failed. But why did it fail? Did India's military suddenly disappear? Or did they stop patrolling the Indian Ocean? No, it failed because Washington finally had a brutal reality check. You cannot buy New Delhi's sovereignty, no matter how many shiny trade deals you throw at them. See, the Pentagon had a very specific, highly optimistic script for India. It was, you can say, a classic corporate outsourcing model. What was Washington thinking? It was Washington's dream that America would handle the high-level tech while India would deploy its naval fleets into the South China Sea, pick a fight with the Chinese Navy over Taiwan, and absorb all the conventional military damage so America wouldn't have to risk its super carriers. Basically, the United States wanted India to be what Ukraine is in Europe. A highly motivated regional power willing to fight a superpower neighbor to protect Western hegemony. But New Delhi looked at the contract and said, "Yeah, we are not signing that." Instead of folding under pressure, what did New Delhi do? New Delhi completely flipped the script on Washington's heavy-handed tactics. See, US wasn't offering a friendly partnership. They were trying to bully India into a one-sided strategic trap, demanding total compliance in exchange for tech. But India refused to be intimidated. New Delhi stood its ground and stared down the pressure and forced Washington to agree on India's terms. See, that's how India secured the crown jewels of American tech, locking down billions in semiconductor partnerships and forcing the US to co-produce many tech products on Indian soil while utilizing Western deep sea intelligence to secure the Indian Ocean. But the exact moment Washington tried to collect on that one-sided deal and asked, awesome, so when are we sailing together into the Taiwan Strait to fight the PLA? India replied, oh sorry bro, you misread the vibes. We are sovereign partners, not your proxy. India made it clear. So geopolitics isn't about emotional marriages, it's about cold hard realism. History shows exactly what happens to nations that blindly follow a distant superpower script. Look at Pakistan in the 1960s and 80s. Islamabad signed every Cold War treaty the US offered. Seato, CENTO, thinking Washington would back them conventionally against India. What happened? The moment the global alignment shifted, America packed its bags, left Pakistan with millions of refugees, a broken economy, and a heavy dose of sanctions. Look at Ukraine today. They relied on Western promises of absolute security, and yet they are left fighting a grinding generational war on their own soil while Western politicians bicker over funding delays. That's the reality. India saw it. So Indian leadership know this history inside out. That's why at the very same Xinhua forum, China's most formidable realist scholar Yan Zhuitong pointed out a fascinating trend. He noted that while the West is bleeding credibility in the Middle East and East Europe, East Asia has remained completely peaceful and economically dominant. Why? Because regional players like India are refusing to let external superpowers turn Asia into a live fire testing sandbox. It's crystal clear, even the Chinese accept the strengths of India. So, by holding its ground and keeping its defense strictly focused on its own conventional borders and the Indian Ocean, India forced the Trump administration to realize it cannot automate its war with China through New Delhi. So when you hear that the US military has dropped the word Indo from the Pacific Command, don't view it as India's failure. View it as a reality check for American exceptionalism. It's the exact moment the Pentagon admitted that India is far too big, far too sovereign, and far too smart to be anyone's shield. Washington is realizing that if they want to fight China over the Pacific shipping lanes, they are going to have to do it themselves. Meanwhile, India is sitting comfortably in the Indian Ocean, fully weaponized with tech, but completely unbothered by Western commands. It's not a retreat, it's an asymmetric checkmate. But what do you think? Is India's refusal to act as an American proxy a dangerous gamble that leaves it isolated against Beijing, or is it the ultimate masterclass in sovereign survival? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And with this, I come to the end of the video. If you like this video, hit on the like button, share it with your friend, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit on the subscribe button. Until next time, Namaskar, Jai Hind.